what is the point of this new town hall that he's doing? And did we learn nothing from Les Moonves saying bad for the country, but great for the network?
Well, that's what I'm so disgusted by, because again, when someone shows you who they are, you believe them.
Don't say that.
When you show that you are an insurrectionist, that you're a liar, that you're a bigot, that you're a racist, that you're sexist, that you're twice impeached, that you are currently a criminal defendant and likely to be a criminal defendant in 2 other jurisdictions.
Yeah.
I know everything I need.
And you
grab women by their genitals. I know everything I need to know about you.
But
right? And so I don't think you, just to put a button on it, I don't think that you give that type of person a platform. You don't do that. And I'm actually dismayed that CNN on May 10th at 8 o'clock is going to be giving, I just did a commercial for them.
Yes, you
I
did.
can't believe that they are giving him this platform. He is one of the most
I have to
destructive
disagree with
people.
you, Sonny.
What?
I have to disagree with you. I can't stand him, as you know.
Yeah.
But he is the front runner for the Republican Party.
Because that's the best they can
I
come
would
up with.
let them do it. It's a free country. This is America. Let him go out there and let him show again to the American people that he is a sociopath.
All right, guys, so we got to talk about the mainstream liberal media and the panic that is happening because Trump is essentially tied with Biden in polls, okay? And you have one shock poll from ABC News showing Trump leading Biden, crushing Biden by 6 or 7 points. Again, this is unprecedented for a Republican to be this close to an incumbent Democrat this early on in the election cycle. Again, we're in the middle of 2023. The Republican primary hasn't really even started yet. DeSantis hasn't declared yet. He's expected to declare. I mean, we haven't even had a debate. And you already have Trump, who the mainstream liberal media has done nothing but smear. It's been scandal after scandal. They're actually trying to send the guy to jail. The Democrats are actually trying to send him to jail. Again, he's essentially tied with Biden in the aggregate polls. And there was one shock poll, again, from ABC News showing Trump crushing Biden by 6 or 7 points. Okay, I actually want you to watch this CNN segment of them discussing some of these new polls, because it is apparent that people are not only dissatisfied with Biden's performance because he's been a disaster across the board in regards to the economy, the border, crime, foreign policy, whatever. He's just been an absolute disaster. But people are also concerned about Biden's mental sharpness and his mental capabilities of continuing to serve. I mean, because the guy clearly is just not there mentally.
A new Washington Post ABC News poll found that 58% of Democrats and Democratic-leaning independents that they want their party to nominate someone else. Biden's overall approval rating remains underwater as well. 36% approval, according to the Washington Post ABC News poll. That's the lowest for any American president at this point in their first term. That's dating back to Harry Truman. Let's get to the White House right now. CNN's Arlette Saenz is standing by. Arlette, lay out for us how Biden stacks up, first and foremost, when it comes to the Republican frontrunner right now, Donald Trump.
One of the concerns that voters have expressed have to do with his mental sharpness. If you take a look at this poll, only 32% of voters said that the president, who is 80 years old, has the mental sharpness to serve effectively. Compare that to former President Donald Trump, where only 54% of voters said that the former president, who is 76 years old, has the mental sharpness to serve effectively. But I also want to show you what this poll has to say about hypothetical general election matchups. If you take a look at President Biden and Donald Trump, this shows that 38% of voters say they would definitely or probably vote for Biden, while 44% say the same for Trump. Then take a look at DeSantis. 37% say they definitely or probably would vote for Biden, compared to 42% for DeSantis. Now, one thing to note in this poll is these questions are worded differently compared to other polls that are evaluating these possible general election matchup. But it is still very, very early in the process.
Yeah, so what I find to be super fascinating about some of these poll numbers that Biden is getting is that it has become obvious that Democrat voters do not want Biden to be their nominee. And the people that scream about democracy, 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 right, the Democrats, they don't really seem to believe that much in democracy when it comes to actually letting the people that are their constituents decide who should be the nominee for the party. Again, that's extremely fascinating. Okay, it's almost as if they don't actually really believe in democracy. Okay, what they believe in is just power, right? Power and control. But again, like I've told you guys, it's a good thing that we don't live in a full democracy. It's a good thing that we live in a constitutional republic. But speaking of CNN, CNN is actually getting a whole lot of backlash from the mainstream liberal media. In fact, their colleagues in the mainstream liberal media, they're upset with CNN for hosting this town hall featuring Trump, okay? Because again, Trump is virtually tied with Biden in a hypothetical 2024 matchup. And a lot of people don't like the fact that CNN is giving Trump a platform, okay? I mean, Trump's already coming out ahead of time, and he is trolling CNN, right, about this town hall that he's going to do. He actually wrote this. He said, quote, "I'll be doing CNN tomorrow night live from the great state of New Hampshire because they are rightfully desperate to get those fantastic Trump ratings once again. They made me a deal I couldn't refuse. Could be the beginning of a new and vibrant CNN with no more fake news, or it could turn into a disaster for all, including me. Let's see what happens Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Yeah, I'm going to be tuning in, okay? I may or may not live stream it. I haven't decided yet, but I will definitely be tuning in. Again, we have people in the mainstream liberal media that are pissed off about this because, once again, they're showing us they actually really don't believe in democracy. They actually really don't believe in journalism. They don't think that CNN should actually voice all sides of the political debate. And Joy Reid and friends are going to express the fact that they don't believe in this stuff. They don't believe in journalism. They don't believe in democracy in this cry fest that they're going to have about CNN deciding to host this Trump town hall. Take a look.
David Chalian, the political director for CNN, told Vanity Fair that Trump's role in January 6th, quote, makes him a unique candidate, but that it does not make our approach any different in the sense that we hold every candidate who comes to CNN accountable for their words. Joining me now is Angelo Carusone, president and CEO of Media Matters, and Charlie Sykes, editor-at-large at The Bulwark and an MSNBC contributor. Angelo, let me play you David Zaslav. He's the CEO of Warner Brothers, I think a conservative or libertarian. He's the CEO of Warner Brothers Discovery. Here he is discussing CNN hosting Trump.
What happened at some of your competitors? Is a divided government.
Right.
We need to hear both voices. That's what you see. Republicans are on the air on CNN. Democrats are on there.
MSNBC.
All voices should be heard on. He's the front runner. He has to be on.
He has to be.
We're happy that.
Yeah. Well, the last guy would.
Republicans, Democrats, insurrectionists, everybody's on the air. Your thoughts, Angelo?
I mean, I get a little uncomfortable with the false co-equivalences and false balance, if that's the position that they've taken, because it's kind of a reflection of the larger posture that CNN has had over the last year or so, which is to basically mollify all of their right-wing critics, or at least to attempt to mollify them by validating even the most bad faith attacks on the network from them, and then shift their focus to try to appeal to them to come back on the channel with all sorts of concessions or sort of gimmies. And I think, yeah, of course he's the Republican frontrunner. There's newsworthiness around it. It is absurd in some ways, but we have to cover it. I appreciate that. What I don't appreciate is the circumstances and the timing. It feels kind of odious, like an attempt to goose their ratings ahead of not just the moment that we're in terms of Fox sort of sliding, but this big upfront event that's happening. So I think that's a part of it, and I find that a little unsettling. And I think the hubbub and the frustration that's out there is as much a reflection of the fact that they're giving Trump airtime as a lack of confidence that CNN's going to do it well. And then the format, which is, they keep saying, well, he's going to answer questions from citizens. It's not about them engaging in journalism. It really is about just giving him sort of a platform. And so it does feel like a laundering. And I think that's fundamentally what the major concern is here.
Yeah, right. And they're making it a big deal, Charlie. I mean, the person who's going to moderate this is formerly of the Daily Caller, their Washington reporter who did the morning show earlier. But it feels to me like this is a pretty open attempt by CNN to push itself to the right and make itself attractive and show its belly to MAGA and to conservatives, hoping that they will tune in. That's what it feels like to me. What does it seem to you?
Well, it feels like horrifically bad judgment to me. Let's be clear about this. This is not journalism. This is entertainment. In journalism, you actually will control with the questions and the answers, and you will have some sort of a filter for misinformation. CNN will not be able to filter or control the disinformation that Donald Trump puts out on the air live, and CNN that will not even be able to control the kinds of issues that are talked about. In journalism, you would ask him about the 26 women who've alleged sexual assault. You would ask him about whether or not he believes that the Constitution should be terminated. You would ask him about January 6th. You would ask him about pardoning the people that attacked the police officers. Will that be what Republican MAGA-leaning voters in New Hampshire are going to discuss? And yet they've given him a full hour of airtime, and Donald Trump knows entertainment. He's allergic to journalism, which is why he's going to love this town hall.
David Chalian, the political director.
Yeah, so you've seen that, you heard that. Now, what I find to be absolutely fascinating and very telling about that little conversation there, right, that cry fest from Joy Reid and friends, is just how much these people really don't believe in democracy. They don't believe in journalism. Like, just listen to what these people are saying. Basically, what they're saying is that we're pissed, first and foremost, that CNN, which again is supposed to be a media outlet, okay? They're supposed to be a news organization. We're pissed that they're allowing opinions on the platform that we don't like, which implies that they think that CNN is supposed to be left wing, right? They're only supposed to host and have certain opinions. Now, keep in mind, MSNBC is dominating CNN in the ratings because MSNBC has captured a far left radical audience, which unfortunately is a big audience in this country, and CNN can't out radical MSNBC, okay? I mean, they're basically sponsoring left-wing terrorism, right? It doesn't get much more radical than MSNBC, okay? They're sponsoring hate and terrorism in this country. They are also saying, well, we don't like the fact that CNN is hosting Trump. We also don't like the fact that CNN is allowing the people to ask Trump questions that they're concerned about. Do you hear that, guys? Do you hear what they're saying? They're saying, no. We don't like the fact that CNN isn't being journalists by controlling the conversation, by asking questions that we think that Trump should be asked. Okay, we don't like the fact that the people are allowed to ask Trump what they're concerned about. As if they believe, right? This is what they believe. They actually believe that, no, it's our job to tell people what are the important questions, right? They're concerned that the people, the actual voters, aren't going to ask Trump about all the scandals and the witch hunt that the mainstream liberal media has created against Trump, right? Because that's all they want to talk about. All they want to talk about is negative, negative, negative. They want to talk about scandal after scandal after scandal, which again, half of them, right? A lot of them are created by the mainstream liberal media. No, they're upset because they think that because there's a possibility that voters are not going to ask about that voters might ask about things that they actually care about, like the economy, like the border, like foreign policy, like crime. Yeah. They're concerned that voters are actually going to ask about the things that affect their lives. And again, not the witch hunt that they have created against Trump. Again, it's truly fascinating. Right, just listening to these people talk, it tells you how authoritarian and fascist they really are, right? They don't actually really believe in real journalism in the sense that, no, we need to hear from both sides, right? It's not our job to try to control the conversation. It's not our job to control the narrative. We are servants of the people, okay? We want the people to be able to ask questions about what they're concerned about, and we moderate the conversation, we facilitate the conversation, but we're not here to tell people what they should and should be concerned about, right? And that's what CNN is doing. CNN is actually really hosting a platform, a forum, at the very least from what I'm seeing, from what I'm hearing, that's actually very fair to Trump, right? Instead of them trying to control everything and to drive the narrative with the questions, no, they're saying, look, we're going to let the voters ask you what they're concerned about. And that's exactly how it should be. It's not CNN's job or MSNBC's job or even Fox News' job to tell voters what they should and shouldn't be concerned about, what questions should and shouldn't be asked. It's actually the voters' job, right? The voters are the ones that are supposed to control that. They're supposed to control the narrative. But again, I'm trying to tell you guys, man, these people, every time they get a chance, they really do show you who are the true fascists, who are the true authoritarians in this country. They don't believe that CNN should be able to host Trump. They're saying, no, we don't like the fact that you're platforming opinions that we don't like. And they're especially upset that CNN is actually giving Trump a neutral platform to express his positions, right? They're pissed, okay? Again, it's just absolutely amazing to me because I've never complained about Fox News hosting Bernie Sanders, okay, and allowing the people to actually ask Bernie questions. That's what you're supposed to do. Again, it's not the media's job to tell people what they should and shouldn't be concerned about. Because again, at the end of the day, I guarantee you, most people are not concerned about January 6th. They're not concerned about the Me Too allegations. They're not concerned about the fake criminal charges against Trump coming from woke DA Alvin Bragg. They're not concerned about any of the stuff that the mainstream liberal media is concerned about. They're concerned about their well-being. They're concerned about the economy. They're concerned about their kids' education. They're concerned about crime. They're concerned about foreign policy. They're concerned about real issues. And I guarantee you, a lot of them are probably not going to ask about all the BS drama that has been created by the mainstream liberal media. And this is what they're so upset about. They can't stand it. They can't stand the fact that they don't have control over the narrative. But again, that's why I say kudos to CNN. We're going to see how it actually goes. But if this is what CNN is going to do, if this is the direction they're going in, if they're actually hosting people that, you know, have the same opinions as Trump, right, or that have the same political viewpoints as Trump and hosting Trump himself, kudos to them, man. They deserve the boost in ratings because this is what you're supposed to do as a news outlet, as a alleged, unbiased, apolitical news outlet. But we already know that's not what MSNBC is. Okay, even though that's what they claim to be, they're not that. Okay, they're an arm of the Democrat Party, and that's okay. But just come out and say, yeah, we're an arm of the Democrat Party, and we root for Democrats, and this is, you know, this is, you know, who we are, and that's okay. But you can't get mad at CNN because CNN is saying, no, we actually want to be neutral. We want to be a platform for all voices, not just, you know, the voices of the establishment or the voices of one party. So we'll see how it goes. I'm ready for it. I'm excited for it. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.